That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Moving his spear. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready.
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spear.
Spear, get ready. Spear, get ready.
We ready?
Shooters down. Shooters down.
Are we good?
Shooters down.
Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Shooters down. We're good to move.
We're clear.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus.
Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. My shoes.
Watch out.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. I guess you probably know by now that this past Saturday, President Trump had an assassination attempt on his life. I remember being in the kitchen cooking and watching the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania live when I heard some pops and I couldn't believe it. And then I saw him wipe his ear and then go down. So at that point, I didn't know exactly what happened or how bad the injuries were. But when I saw him pump his fist in the air to let everybody know that he was okay, then I was okay. And I think his supporters around the world, especially in the United States, were okay with his well-being. And so I'm just glad that he's doing well. Pretty sure that you've seen the reports, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. You could Google it or go on YouTube and see all the details yourself. But what I want to get into is how the media and the radical left Democrats and some snaky Republicans, they dehumanized Trump over the years. Ever since he rode down the golden escalators on June 16, 2015, to announce his presidential candidacy, he begun to be hated around the world by celebrities, radical left Democrats, the administrative state, and the deep state alike. Oprah, all those celebrities used to love him. Now they hate him because he's a registered Republican and he wants to stand up for you and I to make sure that our sovereignty remains intact for the rest of our lives. We do not need to be gathered into one pool of globalist thinking about how to handle a pandemic, how to get out of financial crisis. No, we have our own way of doing things as Americans. We do not need globalists telling us what to do halfway around the world. So I want to get into some clips that kind of build up to the moment that happened this past Saturday. No human being should be subjected to this. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, gay, straight, black, white. No human being deserves to have their lives taken for no reason, unless you breaking down somebody's door and you get shot for trespassing. But Trump has been dehumanized over the year. He's been called racist. He's been called misogynistic. He's been called a Nazi. He has been called Hitler. All of those verbal tactics to dehumanize a decent human being and to shrug off an event like an attempted assassination. Purely unacceptable. Here are a couple of introductory clips here, and then I'll add some commentary. Roll the tape.
And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and if they see it's reported in the press that this, and this, so they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Be grossly generalistic. You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. But that other basket of people are people who feel the government has let them down, the economy has let them down, nobody cares about them.
The wrap-up smear was used against President Nixon during 1974 during the Watergate scandal to get him to resign because of policies that the opposing party didn't agree with. The wrap-up smear was used against Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, accusing him of raping a young woman or some young women while in college. None of that was true. And the wrap-up smear is being used against President Trump, which again, my point led up to Saturday, the culminating point about violence against political opponents. When Hillary Clinton mentioned basket of deplorables, she was really talking about all of Trump supporters. You see, there's no such thing as half of Trump supporters. We either support him or we don't. And I would say that we all want a government that we can trust. We all want medical officials that work in the government that we can trust again in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, which we're lying to the American people just to get a shot in the arm. We all want a strong economy. We all want secure borders. That's what we all want. So I guess we're all deplorables. All right, I got some more clips for you. Check it out.
There wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Because what I know is that Donald J. Trump cannot be allowed back into the White House. Full stop, period.
People would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And you could see it in countries where, Hitler was duly elected. That's right. Right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
The smear campaign continues against Trump. You got Hillary Clinton saying that Trump is in it for himself. That could be furthest from the truth. Donald Trump is one of few presidents that reduced his federal salary down to $1. saving the federal government millions of dollars alone, just from that simple act alone. Secondly, he's not in it for himself because up until 2022, Trump was left alone. He was living peacefully. He was living a happy life. He decided that he was tired of seeing what's going on current day with our economy and our U.S. southern border left wide open. Our economy is failing our hard-working American citizens. So as soon as he decided to run for the 2024 presidential candidacy for the White House, that's when the political lawfare from the Biden administration began. So no, Trump is not in it for himself. Secondly, what did Joy Reid mean by Donald J. Trump cannot get back into the White House? She left it open. It's open rhetoric for mentally unstable people that are out there that saturate themselves in political violence, and they'll take action on that. So I caution everybody to be very careful about what they say on national television, because it has consequences. Hate speech equals murder, as we saw the possibility of number 45 getting assassinated almost this past Saturday. And lastly, what I'll say is, hey, Hillary Clinton is lying again. She's fear-mongering among the people that saturate themselves in negative rhetoric against Donald Trump. We have mentally unstable people out here that will act on this fear-mongering rhetoric coming from crooked Hillary Clinton. She said that if Trump gets reelected, he's going to round up people in the streets. He's going to, be a dictator. He's going to shut this down, shut that down, and all this other kind of stuff. Well, right now, under the Biden administration, free speech is shut down for the most part. If it wasn't for Twitter, or now called X, free speech is something that can get you thrown in jail if you're a conservative Republican. And as far as rounding up is concerned, the Biden administration round up folks. There are folks in the D.C. gulag right now that are there simply because they were protesting the 2020 election results. They were on Capitol grounds. They did not enter. Most of them did not enter into the Capitol building, but yet they're being rounded up for no reason, and they're being held without due process. So you tell me, who's the dictator? Who's shutting stuff down? And I'll go even further. The radical left Democrats are still attempting to ban firearms from law-abiding citizens, hard-working Americans like you and I. So I got some more clips for you. I hope you enjoy it so far. Let's roll.
Wow, what a moving evening this is. I am sitting here listening, watching, absorbing, thinking about Ali, even though I never met him. And with this kind of inspiration, I will go and take Trump out tonight.
His rhetoric is really getting dangerous, more and more dangerous. And we saw what happened on January 6th when he uses inflammatory rhetoric. Now it is just unquestionable at this point that that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our country. And these are going to take it away. They're going to take it away. You, Clarence Uncle Thomas. Joe, you now have the right to take that Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler and this is 1940. Take him out. Blow him up. Blow him up or they'll blow us up. Facts.
See, now you heard those remarks. We got national television stars and we have elected government officials making heated, incendiary remarks against number 45, our former president, Donald Trump. There's no reason for it. Like the title of this video suggests, that hate speech equals murder. We saw that this past Saturday where the former president, Donald Trump, almost got shot in the head. Thank God he just got grazed in the ear. But you look at all these comments in totality, if it was conservative Republicans that were making these comments against our current president, Joe Biden, we would already be rounded up in prison and some of us with the death penalty for treason. And so there is a two-tier system of justice because the DOJ wears kid gloves when it comes to prosecuting Democrats as opposed to prosecuting conservative Republicans, especially those who are loyal to Trump. And so I'm just going to say, thanks for watching the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And remember, hate speech is murder. Let me know what you think. And please share the Gregory Wright Show.